Neymar has over 400 career goals and more than 250 assists. Those are numbers most football players can only dream of in their lifetime. So why is he never mentioned in the same breath as Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo? Because the truth is, it was never about the numbers. If you really look closely at Neymar's career, there's one single moment where everything started to change. When Neymar first appeared at Santos, he didn't look like a normal footballer. There was something about the way he played that instantly made people stop and watch. It wasn't just the goals or the assists, it was the way he moved. The pure confidence he had on the ball, the creativity in every single touch. He played like someone who didn't believe in limits. Tricks that most players wouldn't even dare to try in training, Neymar made them look completely natural on match day. And it wasn't just flair for the sake of it, it was highly effective. He was dominating games at a ridiculously young age, carrying a team, entertaining millions of fans, and building a reputation that quickly went far beyond Brazil. At a time when football was becoming more structured, robotic, and tactical, Neymar brought something unpredictable back into the game, something exciting. And that's why people didn't just see him as a talented player, they saw him as the future. The comparison started early. At a time when Messi and Ronaldo were already completely dominating world football, Neymar was being talked about as the next player who could reach that godly level. Not just close to them, but possibly even beyond them. And that wasn't just hype, it was based on what people were seeing with their own eyes. The talent was undeniable. When he joined Barcelona, everything seemed to fall perfectly into place. He was entering one of the best teams in the world, playing alongside the best player of his generation. The expectations were heavy, but Neymar didn't struggle with them. Instead, he adapted quickly. And then came one of the most iconic attacking trios in football history, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. Together, they were unstoppable. They weren't just winning games, they were dominating them. The Champions League victory, the chemistry, everything worked.
Neymar was a huge part of that success. There were matches where he stepped up when it mattered most, delivering world-class performances that showed he was fully capable of leading a team. But even during those peak moments, there was something that never fully changed. No matter how good Neymar was, this was still Messi's team. Messi was the center of everything. The system revolved around him. The spotlight stayed on him. And the ultimate recognition followed him. Neymar was incredible. But he wasn't the main character. For some players, that would be enough. Winning trophies, being part of history, playing alongside legends. But Neymar wanted more than that. He didn't just want to be one of the best players in the world. He wanted to be the best. Slowly, that desire started to grow stronger. It wasn't about ego. It was about pure ambition. Neymar knew what he was capable of. And eventually, that ambition led to a decision that would change everything. Forever. In 2017, Neymar left Barcelona, not because he failed, but because he wanted something more. Paris Saint-Germain paid 222 million euros for him, making it the most expensive transfer in football history. It wasn't just a move. It was a statement. Neymar wasn't going to stay in Messi's shadow anymore. This was his chance to become the main player, the leader, the absolute face of a project. On paper, it made sense. He would have full control and full attention, but this is where things started to shift. Because sometimes the move that looks like progress ends up taking you in a completely different direction. At PSG, Neymar had everything he thought he needed. Freedom, responsibility, recognition, but something about it didn't feel the same. The level of competition wasn't as intense. League One didn't challenge him in the same way La Liga did. The consistency required at Barcelona, the pressure of every match.
Over time, those interruptions started to define his career. The narrative shifted. People stopped talking about his genius and started questioning his lifestyle, his decisions, his attitude. But the reality is more complicated than that. Neymar didn't suddenly become a worse player. What changed was everything around him, the expectations, the pressure. Playing for Brazil added another layer of heavy pressure. It's not like playing for any other national team. It's expectation on a completely different level. He was supposed to be the next iconic legend. Every failure was magnified. When you combine that with injuries, media criticism, and personal expectations, it creates a weight that's incredibly hard to carry. Neymar wasn't just playing football. He was carrying an entire nation's hopes. So when people ask what went wrong with Neymar, they look for one simple mistake, one decision, one reason. But the truth is, it's a series of moments that slowly shaped his career in a different direction. Maybe Neymar didn't fail. Maybe he just didn't become what we expected him to become. Football isn't just about raw ability. It's about timing, decisions, consistency, and sometimes just a little bit of luck. In Neymar's case, those things never fully aligned. But even then, remember what he did achieve. The magic is still there. He came so close to something even greater. In the end, it only takes one decision, one moment, to change everything.